Dr. Joanna Wells, and I'm so excited, I'm so excited. The reason why I am here in front of this whiteboard is because I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea. It's a real quickie, short video here, okay? It's not going to take much of your time, but basically I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that I teach, okay? And I'm going to do it by just showing you on this white blank board, because I'm a very visual individual myself, and when someone tries to explain something, it's very difficult for me to understand it. So here you have it, all right, in a nutshell. Alrighty, here we go. I'm going to draw a big pie, okay? This is a big pie. Now, what I teach you is the basics. And what I teach you is to secure what is yours, okay? What is rightfully yours, which is the name that you've been given by your parents, but we're not sure that it was registered with a corporation, you were not aware of it, there was no full disclosure of the contract, okay? So I'm not here to point any fingers. Maybe they did it because there was a good reason for it. And I think now, looking back, I used to be like one of those sovereign warriors that was against the government and all this stuff, like, ah, look what they did to me, look, they took my bonds, they took my this, they took my that. Now, growing up and being more mature, spiritually, physically, and my mindset's completely different now, I don't see it like that anymore. I actually see it as a blessing, because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they're extremely organized masters of the matrix. They got everything running smoothly, beautifully, beautiful roads, beautiful cities, everything is running just perfectly, okay? So nothing at all, I have no grudges whatsoever, I just feel grateful because of now, what I know now. It is like, wow, now I know why, many victims act the way that they do, and many winners act the way that they do as well, okay? So I'm just gonna get to the point here. So what I teach is I teach others that are ready to go from childhood in the mind, not just by the age, to adulthood. And what adulthood is taking back your bond, and the bond is the birth certificate bond. Okay? The passport bond and the Social Security bond. So I teach you how to do this, and that is just a minuscule part of what I teach. Very, very little tiny thing, but it is so freaking important. You cannot miss that part. In order to get to the top, to know how to operate as a conscious ambassador with diplomatic immunity, diplomatic status, who is operating in a non-adversarial fashion, creating beautiful societies and funding societies and helping their fellow man and woman and their political figures that they wish to help, they got to start right here, okay? They got to start right here at the bottom. Right here. All right? And right here is when you start to learn about the name, the birth certificate name, that it is a government franchise. And it's been used to be monetized. And, you could think of it as a greedy thing. I don't really see it as that. I see it as, hey, you know what? We've created the society. We got all these people. What are we going to do? We have to somehow create some order. So therefore, they ended up creating the birth certificate, which is registered with the United States Corporation, okay? And turned everyone into employees. So that way everyone can pitch in, they can work, and then they can, utilize the FRN notes, and then therefore they create their society, okay? And the birth certificate bond, what it does, it acts as an insurance to, say that you don't pay certain debt, or, you're behind in something, or you have a medical problem, and you got to get on disability, you need to get food stamps, you need to get welfare. that didn't really come from the government, really. It came from your birth certificate bond, okay, which you have the right to have. So it wasn't that the government gave it to you. It is yours, but at the same time, see, you're like this right now. You're young. You're a baby. You don't really know. You're not aware of how to operate in commerce. Obviously, you were never taught that because it's only for those who are ready, only for those who are mature in the mind and are ready to operate peacefully in commerce and handle it like an adult. You see what I'm saying? Okay, it's my beautiful girl. I have no problem with that. I'm grateful, proud mama. So you start off, at the bottom, and at the bottom, okay, I'm just gonna put, you're learning about the birth certificate bond, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's worth a lot of money. Oh, limitless money, limitless credit. Oh my gosh, I could go buy a Maserati with it. Not necessarily. Yeah, you could, but really what it is a birth certificate bond, which acts as an insurance. So therefore, you get into some trouble, like with debt, or you cannot pay back your bills or whatever bills or debt, and you have problems, and you need medical help, you need a loan for school, you need all these things. Well, guess what? The birth certificate is your insurance to help you out, just in case you cannot pay with the FRN note, okay? And we all know the FRN note are debt notes, okay? Debt notes that are IOU notes, but I don't want to get into that. I'm just going to tell you really quickly what the birth certificate is, okay? So it's not for you to just tap into it and say, hey, I can just buy a crap load of things with it. It acts as an insurance, okay? So the first thing to being a secure creditor, at least that part, this is a piece of the pie, okay? First of all, let me say this. Okay, hold on. Conscious ambassador. I'll just put conscious ambassador, okay? That's the whole shamoli right there, all right? But in order to get to there, you must take some little steps in order to get to that part, okay? You've got to take the step, like what William Smith says about his father. You got to take step number one and lay a foundation. The nicest brick, the nicest stable brick that you could ever lay, and focus on that first, immerse yourself in that first. Meaning, you need to learn about the Constitution, but you need to learn about trusts, you need to learn about bonds, you need to learn about currency, you need to learn about some of the laws, canon law, which actually the statutory laws that you utilize in the United States of America, Australia, it doesn't matter what country you're in, abides by canon law, okay? It all comes from the Vatican, because the Vatican were the ones that set it up, and the people at the top above the Vatican. So the Vatican, really, they're not to blame either. There's something beyond that constructed the whole thing. Masterminds they are, and they're so freaking smart at it too. But anyway, so right here, you weren't aware that you had a bond. You had a few bonds out there, but it was all for your good. It was to help you out. Until you were able to reach that adult level of, you know what, I want to be able to be at peace and walk in peace. And, sure, I'm not really happy about how societies run. I don't really like the way that societies run. I don't like how the presidents do their stuff, and I don't like how the people are acting. I don't like how the citizens are acting. Something's wrong here. So then you go into a world of, wow, self-realization, self-awareness, and you start delving in more down the rabbit hole, more about, let's say, through David Icke and maybe Alex Jones and all these other great, amazing gurus and teachers about, how society is so screwed up, right? According to them. So you start to learn more about what's really happening around you, and you're like, oh my goodness, and then realizing that science is finally real, they've discovered, and I don't think they discovered, they've always known this for thousands of years, that we live in a holographic universe. It's been going on for freaking ever. They've known about this, but they're trying to say, hey, science found out that the universe is in your brain. Holy crap, isn't that exciting? Because that's how you're able to create your own reality, right? put your thoughts out there, and then all of a sudden things just start to manifest magically around you, outside of you. It doesn't. It's inside your head the whole time. It's the universe within your mind. Look that up, holographic universe, okay? So, again, you know, in this little area, okay, you know, here's the birth certificate bond. Okay, I'm just gonna put birth, SSN. Doesn't matter what country you're in, it abides by the same rules. It's all canon law and all that. Okay, we call this area the matrix. Matrix. 3D. Consciousness. Okay? So, what happens in 3D consciousness? What's going on with that, right? Well, 3D consciousness deals with fear, anger, victimization. They did this to me. It's not my responsibility. My life is crap because of them. My life is crap because of the cabal and the elite and whoever else they wish to point their finger at, right? The teacher sucks. She's not teaching me the right thing. I'm going to blame her too, or blame him. Okay? We call these people that are operating in this 3D matrix, okay, that meaning, I mean, we all are operating in it, but those that don't snap out of it, we call them, what's a good word, hon? Chattel, okay? Agriculture. And the powers that be knows this very well, because all they got to do is create a problem, create a reaction from the people, and then also create a solution. And guess what? The people go, these people, not all of you, these people go for it. They go for it, and they say, oh, the president's the solution to all the problems. I don't need to take full responsibility to administering a trust and being a trustee for my account. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to get involved in all this crap. Let Trump handle that for me, right? This is where these people belong, okay? And I'm not blaming them. It's just they're not ready. They're not advanced. They are not aware. So they obviously chose this reality to come back here to maybe learn a little more in advance, but they just cannot snap out of the spell, correct? So they continue to live in that reality. They go against the cops, they go against the judges, they're constantly fighting against the bill collectors and saying, I'm a victim, you're picking on me, and they go to court and they get a lawyer, and the lawyers are doing a pretty damn good job because they're just having freaking fun with you all. They're like, these little kids, if they only knew how bitchin' they are, how badass they are, that they are really ambassadors, then, you know what, they wouldn't need people like us. But, you know what, let's just play the game, right? There's nothing wrong with that. This is why we came here, so we could figure out who we really are. You have to get punched around a little bit in order to figure out who the hell you are, right? So anyway, this is, okay, so you're figuring out, okay, matrix, okay, people are finding out, ooh, wow, they took the birth certificate bond, ooh, they're taking, but then we get a lot of these victims out there. We get a lot of these victim people. Oh, they took my birth certificate, and I'm going to go after the judge, and I'm going to put a lien on the judge, and I'm going to put a lien on the Federal Reserve, and I'm going to put a lien because I want some more money, okay? They owe me a lot of money. This is what I do not agree with, and neither do my council. My council do not agree with people like that. These gurus who call themselves gurus, who go after chopping people's heads, I'm sorry, okay? They are in victim mentality mode, and they are loaded with a freaking gun, and that is their brain, and the mindset is not there. They're just out to hurt and say, hey, I need to get back what they took from me. Well, maybe you haven't showed the competency. Maybe you're not competent enough to handle your own affairs, correct? That's why you need a lawyer for certain things. That's why you need the police for certain things to handle the affairs, because really, back in the day of the cowboy days, people handled their own affairs. And the sheriff stepped aside and said, okay, you guys got a problem? Go step outside the saloon. You guys shoot each other, beat each other up. I'm just right here, right? They handled it because they're sovereign. And there's nothing more that the sheriffs can do. But something happened along the way. There's a lot of, fighting against in the ego, and it started getting bigger and bigger because here comes the bankers, and the bankers, they have the big ego. They're the ones that talk about money. Ooh, we can make money off this. So I don't want to get into that much, okay? I don't want to get into it that much, but you know what I'm talking about. But again, people went for it. People bought into it. Like I said, it's right here. Here's the bait. You have free will. And it's you who bought into it. You said, yeah, I'll sell my land for Federal Reserve notes. Not a problem. Even though it was worth gold, but you just sold the land. You bought into the belief about owning land, owning property, when really you don't really own anything, because that's Mother Nature. Even the Native Americans knew this. This is maturity level, okay, of the people. So, operating in the matrix, or secure creditors operating in the matrix, and they still think that they're going to be able to get out of it with paperwork, okay? But they're in the war mentality. This is what the 3D world is. It's war. Big ego. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of ego. You need that ego. But when you got some big ass ego and you just want to conquer everybody, that's in your way. And when you fight back. When you put out, you get exactly that. Like the book of Thoth, the book of Hermes, same thing. The Emerald Tablet tells you the same thing. What is above you is below you. What you put out, you get back. Same freaking thing. It abides by the law of vibration. Okay? So, for the longest time I was teaching people that was in this role. 3D role. Fear, I want to get back at them, I'm going to fight them, and yada, 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 I'm a victim. Well, we decided we've had enough of that, and we're no longer dealing with taking any more enrollees who are like that, okay? Because we realized finally, as ambassadors that we are, that they already got help that they need. They got the lawyers. They got the presidents, they got the political figures, they got the credit repair specialists. They don't need us. They need them because they need someone else to handle their affairs for them. They cannot do it themselves, okay? Because every single time they're always in complain mode, and therefore they cannot wait to point their finger at somebody else. So that's what the lawyers are for. Go to them, because they're doing a damn fantastic job. All right, so the people that we prefer to enroll, they're the ones that they know what's up. They know that, the laws of vibration. They know about law of attraction. They know that we have to learn to take responsibility. A lot of these people they're into personal development, so they're into meditation, they're into yoga maybe, or something similar to that. They're into always working on themselves, working on their emotions, trying to bite their tongue and say, you know what, I can keep fighting, but whatever I put out is going to come back at me. And not to say that you're being punished, but they're getting tired of the war. They're like, you know what, we prefer peace. Let's just get along. We're human beings here, but we are infinite awareness, having a human experience. We are infinite consciousness, okay? And there is no name for infinite consciousness. So we prefer to deal and communicate and work with people that are already working on themselves on a spiritual, physical, mental level, emotional level as well. They're already learning, books such as Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, really, learning a lot about life in general, okay? And they want peace. They don't like this matrix very much. And they know that they are gods and goddesses. They know that they are part of the one. They know that they're part of that source, the creator or creatress or whatever you want to call it. We call it source energy because that's what we are. They know that they're source energy, and they're like, you know what? Instead of, having signs and showing everybody, we want to change, and you better have a change or else. No, they go with who they truly are, infinite consciousness, having a human experience, and say, you know what, I'm ready to take on the diplomatic ambassador secure creditor side. I'm ready to help humanity but only those that are ready. I'm ready to create my own society. You know, if I have a great many people, members that can actually, we can all come together in agreement and act as adults instead of trying to kill each other, okay? These are the conscious ambassadors. And with that, this is what you start to learn. This is like going into the 4D. See, we're 3D there. We go into the 4D, and then 5D is up here, okay? It's like kind of we're trying to bring this all together. So I would like to say, I'm operating in between the 4D, sometimes 3D, you know, I'm not perfect either, but I'm still working on it. But when you start to work in this world, you start to learn about the power of the birth certificate. And not only that, you're not just focused on the damn birth certificate. You're not just focused on the freaking passport and how much you can get out of it. You start to take on the position of a creator or a creatress that can create your own bond, that can create your own private trust, international private trust, and learn how to move it, okay? And create your own charter and create your own society, because you have come into the position of knowing who you are, that you are now a leader. You are a leader. You are not just a follower. Maybe nothing wrong with being a follower, but following those who actually know their stuff, okay? That are not here to fight and they are not operating in an adversarial, belligerent level. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When you have your paperwork in order, okay, again, the minuscule little part is a secure creditor part, just a small part that I teach. I teach the ones that are like, oh, I know what's going on, but I want to get out of it, and you know, but I'm working on myself. I want to be a secure creditor. Okay, cool. But we call them conscious creditors. So I teach you the basics. I teach you how to get your package 1 done, which is to take back the birth certificate bond, trademark the name, take back the, you know, anything associated with a franchise government name, okay? Take it back, but it's not just for you to be greedy about it. It's just to take it back, take control, and say, hey, I'm an adult now. I'm here to move it however I see fit. That's wonderful. And I'm here now that I know, I mean, you know, I'm just teaching you that part. That's it, okay? I'm teaching you that little part to take that back, put it on a UCC 1, UCC 3, and operate peacefully, okay? So with package 1, package 2, package 2, you just put the agencies on notice in a very peaceful way. And then, of course, you start to learn how to discharge your debt, okay? That's all I teach. That's the tiny part. That's the freaking tiny part. Hold on a second. Where is the little brush? Oh. Where's it then? Help me out, please. I can't. Okay, I'm going to erase this part so you understand exactly where I'm coming from. Hopefully we can find the little eraser here. But anyway, what I'm teaching is just this little part. Oh, there it is. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. Okay. Just this little part. So you know, okay, the 3D thing. To get out of the 3D matrix mindset, okay? You're not going to just fly away like a little bird and all of a sudden, you know, you ascend and all that stuff. I mean, you have to take care of your own affairs first. You have to graduate from the 3D matrix, and you need to learn how to master it, okay? Which goes along with law of attraction and being a master of your own destiny. But you got to free yourself from the mindset of being a slave. You're really not, but you believe you are because of all the subliminals, the constant programming coming from you know where, okay? So I teach you, number 1, to take back the birth certificate bond, okay? The name, the passport, everything associated with a franchise government name, all right? You're just taking it back, okay? You're taking it back and you're saying, hey, I'm an adult now, I can handle my own affairs, and I'm gonna, guess what? I'm gonna use it to wipe out all debt, okay? And the debt, obviously, maybe it didn't come from you. Some say it doesn't come from you. It comes from the United States corporation, that they're in debt because of China. Who knows what? Or it could be a Christian thing, a karmic debt maybe. And so we all came back here and maybe we did some crazy things in a past life. And so we're kind of reaping that here in this life. Who freaking knows? But all I know is this. In order to be free of this enslavement that we put ourselves in, you know, you got to remember we all volunteered for this, all right? We all volunteered for this. Wipe out all debt. Okay? You're going to wipe out all debt with a birth certificate bond. All right? And the passport bond and the Social Security, foreign status trust, and so forth. It's all for this purpose. Okay? This is what I teach. And then you put them on notice in a very nice thing. This is package one. You know, package one is getting the UCC1 and all that, putting that birth certificate bond, capturing it, and everything involved, like you know, your children, you know, people that you love, really your spouse and your children, but really we would suggest that your spouse, they have to do their own package. They have to. Used to be that, yeah, we would just add the spouse, not a problem, but really what you're doing with the spouse is you're trying to take responsibility for them. And really that's not what they came to this planet for. They did not come here for you to take care of them, okay, in that way. They have to grow up. They have to spiritually grow up, and they have to spiritually you know, move up, evolve, evolution, right? So, this is the part I teach. Taking back the name, taking full possession of it, trademarking the name, and which we have, and that's pretty much it. Putting everyone on notice and wiping out the debt, and also teaching the forensic investigation and the administration and, you know, doing the administrative process. Okay, that is tiny. This is tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Really, in the circle, it's like, it's as big. Let's see, the pie, this is a pie, right? The pie is like this. I'm sorry, I'm like trying to draw. I kind of suck at it lately, because all I do is type. Okay, here's the pie. This is how much you learn from me. The secure creditor way. That's it. That's all it is. That is just a tiny little piece of what you're going to be learning when you move up a notch. Once you're able to handle this, now you're ready to move on to the bigger part, the bigger pie. You start moving into the 4 or 5D mindset, okay? Into conscious ambassador mindset. So I am, you know, I'm the gateway to a very powerful elite group that I am a part of, and I cannot wait. I'm going to have an interview with him as well, one of the founders, and they are a council, a powerful council that knows way beyond than just this little piece, okay? They know a lot about creating trust, private trust, living trust. They know how to tap in, create bonds, create your own currency, how to operate exactly as a diplomat, know how to utilize your bonds and liquidate them to live off of, and then not only that, to live off of and being a freaking bum and just sitting there, you know, whatever. They actually, it's used for good, to help humanity, to help society, to create more societies, to fund more projects, maybe fund some more alternative medicine hospitals. It's for the bigger mindset, okay? We're not focusing anymore on just this little piece. Oh, I just need to take care of my credit card debt. Oh, I just need to take care of my child support debt. Or I just need to get out of jail, or I need to get out of court. Okay? That's the 3D mindset. And I hate to tell you this, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I will say this. Some of the gurus that have been thrown in prison, they asked for it. They asked for it because in their mindset, and I'm not saying that they should be punished, no, it's just their mindset, and this is probably what happened to them in a past life or another parallel reality. Maybe they got burnt to the stake, who knows? You know, trying to fight against the establishment is not the way. You have to operate peacefully, okay? It's like what they did, it's like going against the mafia, who's got full control, full power, full money, man, they can freaking hire a mercenary, they can hire several of them, and they can just take you out like that, okay? Give me a freaking break. So, the way that we operate as that's nice, compassionate ambassador, that was just gonna come out of my mouth right there. A conscious, compassionate ambassador is we're not here to fight with anybody. We love the strength of a lot of our other counterparts there. You know, those that we call them are the opposites, right? The opposites, or those that are adverse, or whatever if you want to call them the cabal. We love their strength. They're very strong. They take no crap, and they're very, very smart in how to handle certain things, okay? So we need a lot of their strengths as well. But we also wish to show them that, hey, we're also here to help, because planet Earth, you know, we don't really own planet Earth. Gaia is her own consciousness. Gaia is her own spirit. So, you know, however Gaia's going to go, she's going to go, and she'll, like George Carlin says, she can just shake us off like a bunch of dead fleas or flies or whatever, right? Through earthquakes and tsunamis, if you don't treat her right. Okay, so good or bad, money or no money, we all have to learn to live together, and we all have to learn to be in harmony with one another. Sure, we don't have to agree with religion. We don't have to have the same religious views, spiritual views, political views, but we sure can start doing something together and start creating societies that shows them, the ones that have been, you know, pretty much controlling or orchestrating the matrix for some time, that we're adults now and we love to help, because we know that we're infinite intelligence, that we can create our own bonds, and we can also help fund a lot of causes. I mean, you know, not fund war or any of that, but we like to fund and help as many people as possible, and educate as many people as possible of their beautiful powers, their amazing gifts, and so much more, okay? This is what we're here for. This is what a lot of us are here for. Not everybody is here for that, because they're still under a spell, and no matter what you tell them, they're still gonna go back to the 3D matrix, the 3D matrix mindset that keeps them there. They're victim mentality, nothing ever works for me, you know, I'm cursed, I got a bad genes, I got bad DNA, you know, the rich are more powerful, they take everything from me, and I'm nothing, and, you know, I'm sure you've heard all that, I'm sure you've even thought of that, and I've thought of that myself in the past as well, because we were programmed believing this for too long, okay? But it's only a small few of us that remember who we are, know that there's something different about us. We don't, you know, we don't fit in with certain societies that try to train you to be a robot. We think differently. We are labeled so many freaking names. You know, being mentally ill, crazy, different, there's something wrong, you know, because we're going against the establishment. But we're not going against the establishment in a way like F you, you know, we're going to rebel against you. It's just more saying, hey, I know that there's something going on. Come on, universe, tell me, what is it? But first, you're going to start off with the low emotions, as I'm pissed off, I hate what's going on, I hate the Queen, I hate Obama, I hate everybody, because they put me in this predicament, and F you. Well, maybe we volunteered for this, because we have to go through the opposition first. We got to get our ass kicked around a little bit in order to learn who the hell we truly are, that we are a lot more, and we can succeed beyond that, okay? So it's all about being aware. It's about awareness. more than anything. Like, you can have the perfect paperwork and you will just not be here mentally. You're only there for war. And I'll tell you right now, I've had my counsel that I work with have dealt with people like that. They only are looking out for themselves. They can give a crap about anyone else. They just want power, and then they want to go and create bombs with it, okay? That's what I'm talking about, all right? That's actually a metaphor, but really, I mean, it's more of people like that just says, hey, I want to get all the power because I want to dominate the world. I want to control the world, and you know what? First of all, learn to control your own freaking world, right? Control your own inner world before you can think you can control everyone, the whole world, right? So that's where we're at right now. In order to move into conscious ambassador level with diplomatic immunity, all the beautiful benefits, and also giving back in a I can't say the word properly, philanthropy, right? If you knew that you had, let's say $100 million, just you knew that, what would you do with it? You knew you can sign, what would you do with it? Yeah, you would probably buy a nice car, a nice house, you know, you'd probably buy a lot of nice things, but then you're thinking, but how lonely that is. Yeah, I have all these nice things, but it's not very satisfying. Because really, we're here to utilize our power to get everything together, to fund to get our accounts together, and know how to fund, help, and serve. We're here to serve. We're here to help the best that we can. Okay? I remember a man, a very smart man, he was my first mentor. And I've written about him in my book, Sovereign Magic. He said to me, it was very, very sweet what he said, and he was a millionaire. And he said, you know what I want to do when I finally am able to have access to my money? Because, you know, he was having a hard time. The powers that be was giving him a hard time or giving him a lot of challenges to help him to learn more about how powerful he is. And he says, I want to use that money so I can create an orphanage for children. Children that don't have parents. Children that got, you know, their parents died. They have no parents, they have no one to love them. You know, maybe they have their aunt and uncle, or maybe they don't even have that. They're just orphans. But I want to create a really beautiful orphanage for these children. And I remember this very well, and I thought to myself, you know what? That's exactly what I would want to do too. I would want to create an orphanage as well. Create an orphanage, create schools, to educate our children about how powerful they are, how amazing they are, to start thinking, to start programming them into the realization that they are leaders, and they're here to do great, wonderful things on this planet as well, and help their fellow man and help their fellow woman, okay? We need this. And yes, there has been a lot of darkness, but you know what? We've allowed it for too long because we are too busy bickering and fighting with one another, and ego, and, you know, going against the other party and saying, I'm going to take you to court and I'm going to prove this to you because I'm right and I'm this and I want more money from you and yada yada. Why don't we just create a better society? Why not? There are other societies, and this is exactly what the Parlay Council wants to do. We have a vision of that. Getting together with those that are mature-minded, that are ready to create their own societies and give and help. Goodness, there's so many things I want to do with the funds that we're creating right now, with our bonds, how I want to help the poor, how I want to help the homeless, how I want to help the orphans, but not only just to help to give, to help and teach them knowledge, powerful knowledge that they are more than what they believe to be, that they are infinite consciousness, and they can do amazing things. But again, not everyone's ready for it, because I remember lecturing in certain parties one time, people that are just so in the dumps, no matter what you say to them, they're like, they cannot look up. They can't. So it's only for certain people, not everyone. Maybe just the 3% of us. And we're just here to help raise the vibrational frequency and move into the new earth. Like, new earth is already here. It's just we need to get here already, mentally, okay? So that's what this is the situation. situation. This is what I teach, and I've been teaching this since 2010. So I teach this, and once I see that there's a lot of commitment on the students, they've actually finished their packages, and we have a nice little, relationship. We could do some meetings online or meetings in person from time to time, anywhere from like 6 months to a year. When they're ready, when I can tell if you're mature enough and if you can actually leave the country that you're in, then you can meet with the council. You can meet with the council when you're ready for the next level up of being a mature, compassionate, conscious ambassador, okay? You don't want to be stuck here in this little level of, oh, I'm a victim or I'm a secure creditor and I'm going to try to get something out of you. No, we're moving into a higher vibration so we can help. Check out Dominor. Dominor. Let me spell that for you. Okay? D-A-M-A-N-H-U-R. Dominor.org in Italy. Look at that. Check it out what these amazing people are doing. Go check out Find Horn. Like find, you find something, and horn.org in Scotland. There's many societies that I can't even cover right now that are doing it already. Okay? Imagine when you move into the conscious ambassador mindset and you're able to set up your trust correctly, privately, and you're able to utilize your funds for something more. And you follow certain principles like these societies are doing. What a wonderful world we would be living in. I tell you, and amazing things that we can do to help others, even help some of those that are in political positions, to help them even more. You see, that those that really want to make a change as well. They are here to do good things for people, and they're here to do good things for the planet and leave a legacy. Why not be that leader to leave a legacy for your children or grandchildren one day, right? So anyway, check us out. Go to consciousambassadors.com. That's consciousambassadors.com. And the window of opportunity for the SC, Secure Creditor, is starting to close. We give it anywhere between now, maybe till March, okay, realistically. The doors are closing because people that call themselves gurus, who act in a belligerent manner, are making a lot of us look really bad, because that's not what we're here for. We're here to do positive, good things for the world and help each other out, okay? It's a shame what has happened to a lot of these other gurus, okay? Being thrown in prison and thrown in the fire, whatever the heck. But they should know better. If they had their paperwork in place correctly, they would not be in that predicament. They'd be working with the judges. They'd be working with the politicians. They'd say, hey, you know what? I got a bond for you. I'm making an offer you can't refuse. And they would actually work, but in a positive way. They'd work it out together, and then they would try to come up with solutions together as private businessmen, private business women, working it out together, finding a positive solution where they can meet on the same ground, okay? And that is exactly what we are moving towards, and I'm very, very grateful to be a part of this council. I am grateful, more grateful than you know, believe me. I am so grateful, because without them, I'd be a lost puppy. And I'd be just, I'd be meditating a lot. I've been doing that, but hoping and praying to find someone that was like that. But, I have, and I've been working with this council for a while. I had to do a lot of other things in my life, and after, traveling the world last year, now this year it's time to really take things even more serious and start executing what we are planning on doing, and that is doing what we're doing, creating beautiful societies together. I'm Dr. Joanna Wells. Much love and light to you all. Go to consciousambassadors.com and check out godsofamenti.com. Godsofamenti.com. It's a free forum. We also offer a paid subscription if you wish to be a part of that, and you get to see live streaming, take part in our live streaming video casts, and live interviews, and live meditation circles, live ritual work, intentional work. There's so much more stuff, okay? Much love and light to you all. Have a wonderful week. Take care.